Now, one of the things that we've noticed in our work with people over the last 20 years is that as you go through life, there's things that happen to everybody that we weren't expecting. There's a breakup, there's something that changes in your career, or you just wake up one day and your life you're not where you think you should be, and you fall into disappointment, or you're resentful about falling out in a relationship. And what can happen in people is that sometimes when those things happen, we are able to get bummed out, get upset, and it's sort of like they use in the medical world, there's acute and chronic. Kind of acutely we get thrown and upset or disappointed, and then, we move past it. And there's other things that happen that we don't. Our record skips. We get stuck. We get lost, and all of a sudden we're consumed. That's what we're thinking about it at night. We get reminded of it. We're thinking about it at work. It interferes with your job, your relationship, because you're thinking about it. It's sprinkled like salt. It gets sprinkled throughout your diet of everyday life. And it's interesting because there's sometimes we get over we handle the really big things, the crises that happen, the bigger things, and we're fine. Maybe the person next to us is a mess, but we're okay. And then there's the smaller things. You lose your phone for a couple of hours, and you're a mess. And so it's interesting because there's something inside of us that decides when we get lost. It's happening in us. It's not tied to the event and the circumstances. Our life is really lived inside of us, inside of our own minds and our thoughts. And that's where we get thrown, that's where we get lost. And everybody's different in that regard in terms of what it is that's going to throw them. And the good news about that is that because what it comes down to is what's happening within each person as they go through life, there's a lot of room for growth in that regard. There's a way that there's something can be drawn out in us that helps us relate to life differently. There's some way in which you can shift inside of yourself and go from being tormented about something and living in bitterness and seriousness about it to being more philosophical about it. There's something inside of us that can shift. And that's what protects us from life. And all the things that we've been able to get past and handle with grace, that's what's protecting us. That's what brings us peace of mind and a sense of resolve, and it's okay that it happened like that, or now I can see there was something good that came out of that, or just the maturity of, life doesn't always shake out, and you move forward with what you have. That's something that can be drawn out in people, and that's what we do. So all of the things that we do in our online courses, in our face-to-face programs, our coaching, the CDs in our store, everything on our blog, it's all pointing back to the potential for people to have a shift within them in a way that changes their relationship to life. And it works that way for everyone. So it doesn't matter your personality type. If you've been entrenched in something for 30 years, it doesn't matter how big of a struggle you're having, the size of it, whether it's chronic, it doesn't matter, because it works the same for everybody. That's why all of the stuff, the work that we do and all the stuff that we put out there is all pointing back to this shift, because the potential is in everybody. It's like a muscle group. You strengthen it a little bit, and all of a sudden you can handle more, and you can handle more, and it's easy.